Welcome to the Interfaith Food Pantry's Healthy Choice Kitchen. I'm Katy Galton, the nutrition educator at the pantry. It's really cold outside. We're in the middle of winter right now, and it seems like during the winter we're all trying to stay healthy. There's more colds going around, sometimes flu goes around, and certainly this year we have COVID that's adding to that. So we want to do everything we can to stay healthy. One of the things we can do is to try to help support and boost our immune system. Our immune system is our body's defense to help keep us healthy and to help prevent infection. And there's several things, just basic steps you can do to help support and boost your immune system to help. One is getting exercise. Try to get regular exercise. Try to get a good night's sleep. This is a hard one, try to manage your stress, but that does make a difference if you can. Wash your hands, we've all been doing that. And also, as you might expect, I would tell you, try to eat a healthy, well-balanced diet. So what recipe I'm going to make today is a great winter recipe. It's hearty, it's delicious, it fills you up when you come in from the cold, and it is loaded with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that help support our immune system. The recipe is called Easy Cheesy Skillet Casserole, and the name tells you all about it. We're going to make it in one pan, and it's easy to make, comes together very quickly, and uses really very basic ingredients. It's also one of those recipes that you can put in other things that you like and boost it up. So I'm going to get all the ingredients in first. I'm putting in some ground beef. This is a lean ground beef. We always try to use a meat that pan was ready, that's going to have the least amount of fat. So I'm using ground beef. You could easily use ground turkey as well. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. And what I want to do with the ground meat is just break it up into smaller pieces. So I'll keep doing that. And then I'm going to add some of these other ingredients into it. First, I'm going to add onions in while that cooks. I'm going to add some red peppers in while that cooks. Stir them around. I'm just going to keep stirring it and breaking up that meat as I'm doing that. I'm going to turn it up a little bit, just since I'm adding those other ingredients. I'm going to add some carrots that I've chopped. You'll notice I've chopped all these things into little bite-sized pieces. And I'm going to add a little bit of fresh garlic. Now, if you don't have fresh garlic, you can use garlic powder. I've used garlic powder frequently interchangeably with that. And we're just going to get that cooking. I'm going to let this cook. It'll take probably 10-15 minutes for that meat to get cooked. We want the meat to lose its pinkness. We don't want to see any pink in the meat anymore. And we want the vegetables to soften a little bit. So we'll let it keep going, like that. And while it's cooking, let's take a closer look at the ingredients that we put in. And I want to tell you just a little bit about how they all come together to help our immune system. So the first ingredient we used was the meat. So that the meat, as we know, is a protein. So it's really important that we get proteins for our body. Proteins are really the building blocks of our cells, and they help repair our cells. They help keep our cells healthy. So meat is a good source of protein, but there's lots of other good sources of protein you can get. Beans, nuts, eggs, just a few of the good protein sources. So meat, like the ground beef or the ground turkey, if we're using that, includes zinc. And zinc is another it's a mineral. We don't need a whole lot of zinc, but it's really important to keeping our immune system functioning. Okay, so this is cooking along. Now let's see what else did we add. We added some onions. So onions, and we added some garlic too. Both onions and garlic are good sources of antioxidants. And again, antioxidants are really widespread in the foods we eat, especially fruits and vegetables. And again, they help protect our cells and to help keep them healthy and fight off things. So let's see, we added that. We added our red peppers. It might surprise you, but red peppers are a great source of vitamin C. And vitamin C you probably all associate with staying healthy and fighting off colds. So peppers are a good source of vitamin C. I use red peppers. You could also use a green pepper. Again, it's going to have that vitamin C. It's going to give a little bit different flavor. The red pepper is just a little bit sweeter, but bell pepper is a great source of vitamin C. Okay, we added the carrots. Carrots are a great source of vitamin A. Vitamin A is another vitamin really important for our immune system. See, we also, just jumping back to the red peppers and vitamin C, I think probably one of the best sources we associate in the winter getting vitamin C is our citrus. You see a lot of oranges now. That's another great source of vitamin C. So we have this cook. You can really see that that's cooking pretty quickly. The meat has broken down and really is not too much pink left in there. The vegetables I can just tell by my spoon going through them, they are not quite ready. So we're going to let this cook just a few minutes more. And then we'll be ready to add our other ingredients. You can see how quickly this really comes together. Okay, our meat and vegetables seems to be all ready for our next step. If I had a lot of fat from the meat, I would drain it off. But there really isn't much here to drain. When you use a real lean meat, there often is nothing to drain off. So we've got that ready. I'm going to be adding my pasta next. So I've used whole grain pasta. I always like to use whole grains whenever I can. And again, the whole grains are going to give us vitamins and some trace minerals, little bits of minerals that again help support our immune system. And we know they just keep coming out with more information of the benefits of eating whole grains. Just for lowering your risk of heart disease, cancer prevention. Just keep finding new reasons to support that. However, if you're not a whole grain family, this is a great opportunity to try combining it with maybe using half whole grain and half the white pasta. But honestly, I have to tell you, when you see this cooked, sometimes when you see the whole grains in the box, they're really dark and maybe off-putting to some people. But once they're cooked, they really don't look too much different than the white pasta. So we're mixing our pasta together, and you can see that this makes a lot. So this makes a nice hearty meal. So we have our pasta, and I'm going to add the seasonings now. I'm adding some thyme. And again, we think of seasonings, at least I do, I think of seasonings as they're there for flavor, and that they absolutely are. But they also have health benefits. For example, the thyme it contains vitamin C as well. I never knew that. Now I learned. Now I'm adding some Italian seasoning too. This is where you can really be creative. Use the seasonings that you have. and flavor it the way that you like. If you wanted to do a different profile, you could actually use cumin and chili powder if you wanted to go that route with it. I'm going to add just a little bit of black pepper and just a little bit of salt, not much. And I'm going to add a can of tomatoes, canned tomatoes, and these are with no salt added. I'm going to turn that down just a little. Mix that up. Again, the canned tomatoes, guess what? Of course, they have vitamin C. That vitamin C seems to be spread through a lot of things that we're including in this today. And they also have antioxidants too that help our immune system. Now I'm going to add, the recipe doesn't call for this, but I'm always going to try to add as many dark green vegetables whenever I can. So this is just some frozen spinach. I got my frozen spinach. I thawed it a little bit and drained off some of the water from it. And then I'm just going to add that as well. If you had fresh spinach or fresh kale, you could add that. Just chop it and put it in. So again, those dark leafy greens, give us a real boost. Plus, they also just add such a dramatic color to it. Just kind of makes it more appealing to me to see that green in there with all the other colors. Okay, so we are just about finished. The only other thing I'm going to do is add a little bit of cheese to the top. And I'm just going to sprinkle that on top. So dairy, again, has some things that help our immune system. Vitamin D, also some zinc in there too. I'm just going to let that cheese sit on the top. Put the lid on. And let that just sit for 3-4 minutes until the cheese really kind of melts through it, and then we're finished. Okay, we'll take the lid off, and this looks delicious. It smells delicious, and it looks like it's done. So I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to just scoop a little bit up and taste it. This is just a great meal. As I mentioned, it does make a lot, but it makes wonderful leftovers as well. Let me just take a taste. Oh my God, it is so good. It's nice and warm, and it's just got a variety of wonderful flavors in it and textures. That's going to be a good lunch. If you do have leftovers and don't want to eat them right away, you can freeze them. This freezes very nicely. What I did at home when I made it was I put them into individual containers, put them in the freezer, and then was able to reheat them just in the microwave. And it was a great lunch or a great dinner to have. So try this. I think you'll enjoy it. And remember, when you're preparing this, think of all the variety of the protein in there, the vegetables, the green leafy vegetables, the different colored vegetables, all the vitamins you're getting, the minerals you're getting, the nutrients, the protein that you're getting, the antioxidants that you're getting. So besides getting just a delicious meal, you're getting food that is really nourishing and supporting your health.